ever, dude. Just like you pull in and you just get spit right out of them.
Well, here we are back in the Radio Hub studios for our first show of 2017. You're tuned into the Carve Up with Silky, Steve Harrison, and we've got a very, very special guest for our first show. Harrow, welcome, mate, and good to see you.
Yeah, mate, great to be here, and good to see you again, mate, in 2017. And welcome to the desk, Swellnet's surf forecaster, Craig Brokensha. How you doing, mate?
Howdy, boys. How are you?
Great.
Really well, mate, really well. Now, listen, before we get into the detail, I just want to catch up because I just came back from Tassie and I wish I spoke to Craig before I went down because I took 3 boards, had 1 surf in 2.5 weeks, and I've got to say, from a surfer's point of view, tough to get waves down there. It's very, relying on winds, but beautiful spot nonetheless.
Yeah, mate. Well, Craig, how was the forecast at the start of the year, mate? The East Coast, I was on the Central Coast. There wasn't much going on there either.
No, there wasn't much going off down there either. It's a tricky spot. There's a lot of little fickle breaks. You got to do a bit of driving, so yeah, you got to kind of get in with the locals and let them show you around.
The only locals I saw, mate, was the bull kelp, and I actually bumped into one guy the whole time I was surfing down there, and I was absolutely shitting myself. It's just dark, and the water's cold, and there's kelp, and there's wind, and all that. But I tell you what, from a travelling point of view, it's well worth going down and having a look. But anyways, just didn't get the waves.
Beautiful part of the world.
Yeah, well, Craig, mate, we're great to have you on the desk. Tell us a little bit about your involvement with Swellnet as a surf forecasting. What's involved with your job, and how'd you get into it?
Well, I'm an Adelaide boy, and I was just studying in Adelaide, doing engineering. Did 3 years of this crappy degree, real dry, boring, surfing. And I was like, I want to study something different, something to do with the ocean. So I changed degrees and then did this ocean and climate sciences degree. And I ticked off like 1.5 years credit, like all the subjects I did with the engineering. So then I could surf like more, enjoyed what I was doing, what I was studying. And then I was doing my own forecasts, going off to York Peninsula, getting photos. And then I got in contact with Ben from Swellnet, Ben Matson, the founder, just sending in a photo for Wave of the Day and just drop little hints. Oh, by the way, I'm doing this, oceanography degree. If you need any help, let me know. And then he just popped over back home for a surf contest and caught up for a coffee. And at that week, the South Australian forecaster had other work, couldn't do it anymore. So he's like, mate, throw you in the deep end. Do you want to do SA? And I'm like, yeah, so started forecasting South Australia while doing my honours. Did it for a few months, and then near the end, he's like, rang me up, do you want to move to Sydney full time? We need someone to kind of work for us full time. And I was like, warm water, good waves, East Coast, I'm going to move straight away. And from there, haven't gone wrong.
Mate, it's an interesting subject. So oceanography, is that the skill or is it meteorology?
So meteorology and oceanography, they're basically the same,
right,
except oceanography is just slower. It's like the atmosphere, but in slow motion. So same physics and everything.
Yeah.
And you just learn about upwelling, currents, salinity, just all kind of ocean dynamics.
And let me ask, because I always get a bit sus on the long-range forecast.
Yeah.
What is the definitive answer for like the furthest out that you can predict a swell arriving at spot X, for example?
Over it's nearly 8-9 years at Swellnet, we've got into these kind of what do you say, like these forecasts for the kind of upper atmosphere.
Yep.
And for the Indian Ocean, WA, Fiji, SA, a big significant swell 2 weeks out, you can be confident.
Wow.
Not the size, but the timing within a few days. But then those systems, when a week and a half out, you can nail. East Coast is too dynamic. You've got... Oh, there goes the light.
Keep going.
Yeah, East Coast is just too dynamic. You got like fronts coming out of here, there and there. Although in summer, when we got those trade swells and cyclones starting to form up, our models 16 days out kind of pick those trends, which is good.
Mate, tell us, so what's the day-to-day role for Craig Brokensha?
Oh.
Like, so I see you in the surf a lot. You're that salty. Mate, you spend a lot of time surfing, but mate, so what's involved when you get into the office?
So my day starts at about 5:30, do a radio surf report for Torquay, K-Rock Radio. And then from there, just make sure the cameras are working on the site, surf reports going up. And then I'll pop to the beach about 7:30, get a photo, put it up on the website. and then I'll have a bit of an hour's work where I've got to tick stuff off. And from there, if the surf's good, I can go surfing. But then otherwise, it's just starting writing up the forecast and that, looking at all different weather charts, wave models, because there's different weather models as well. You got to see if they're agreeing or not, and then make your own call on, is there swell coming or not, and write that up for people.
Yeah, so with that forecasting, is it all you, or are you like phoning Ben Matson and you guys having discussions, or are you just going with it all yourself?
Now I pretty much go with it. We talk if there's like a real tricky system, and then we kind of go back and forth. He'll ask me some stuff, just get our opinions, and he'll maybe make me peg it back a bit or boost it a bit. But usually it's just on my own accord now. And I do basically all of Australia. He does Sydney, Queensland, and then I do Indo-Hawaii forecasts. And basically, once you've got a grip of how storms and swells develop and travel in the different locations you're dealing with, you can forecast anywhere.
It's a Bible for surfers, right? I mean, you generally look at it before you go for a surf these days, whether it's to look at the cameras or just to see what's happening maybe for the weekend or whatever. But how many followers have you got on across your social platforms? Because I mean, I'm thinking about all the different surfers out, particularly being an Australian company. Yeah. How many people tune in or look at your reports?
Well, daily, there's tens of thousands that come in daily to the site checking it out, and we've got 250,000 on Facebook and stuff, and all Instagram. So yeah, we're the biggest surf site in Australia. So it's good thing to be part of.
Mate, talking about going surfing and getting drifted out to sea, tell us about this story on Swellnet with this Japanese guy that got found the next day.
I know. The first reports was he kind of paddled out on, I think it was a Friday night, and the surf got too big, and he just kept going. Yeah. And then next morning was found next to a cargo ship, and then rescued. But then Stu, our editor, he lives down Thirroul, and he ran into him. He's just camping on Sandon Point, just with a little kind of...
it's not the best tan. I saw a picture of it. It's just... fucking, he's doing his best.
He would have copped it with a nor'easter yesterday. Yeah, but he said he was just out there to experience the moonrise and just the beautiful nature of the thing.
6K? He was out 6K.
Well, he saw the boat and kept paddling, so he just wanted, I don't know, he had something good that night before, didn't he?
Yeah, dude. Well, like you said, Silks, mate, to be that far out at night.
If you told me to paddle back 6K from out there, and I surf every day, I'd be like, that's going to be a struggle.
But he hasn't just been down in the Wollongong area. He's also been, I think, over your neck of the woods. Is that right?
Yeah, mate. Well, there's reports that he was
up in Mona Vale, someone's lawn.
Yeah, he was in people's backyards, just camping out. He's just a full drifter.
Yeah. No, good on him. He's just, I don't know, just travelling the East Coast and getting amongst it.
Pretty handy guitarist too. I saw on something on social media. He's pretty handy with a slide guitar.
I wonder where he gets his power from. He's running an extension called Sand and Borders Border Riders.
Well, they'd be liking him, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Hey?
Well, the old the sanding crew.
Yeah.
Give Jason Garver a shout out there. Garv, mate. Look after
him, will ya?
Japanese friend. But mate, talking about the internet and forecasting and all that, mate. We're in the papers about discovering the Kelly Slater wavepool. Mate, tell us a little bit about that and how you came across that one.
Well, lucky the only reason that came across is because it was a Saturday and there was no surf. Kelly dropped the video on Friday night and we woke up to it, and I was like everyone else going, this is just the most bullshit thing I've ever seen. And Stu, he put up the video on that, and then he sent through this photo that was on Reddit, and he said, there's a few photos going around, but this might be the location. And all it had was a satellite image with a highway and a couple of street names. I'm like, I got nothing to do. I'll just have a look, see if I can confirm it. And with Google these days, like the Google history, it's pretty scary. Like all the data that's just freely available, just ticked off all these kind of looked at when, like how long the pool was there, like the big lake. And it was actually there from 2004. So I'm like, it might not be the location. They haven't built it. But if you go back, there were two of them, two lakes. And then in 2015, there's an image where one of them's been filled in. And you can see this cement structure running along the side. And it's like, that could be the wave generator, but it could also be like a tow rope, for the skis and that. And then, looked at, you could Google the property, and it was sold in January 2014 by a guy from Orange County, 3 hours away.
How's the rest of the coast looking? The east coast is looking pretty dismal. We're only looking at 1 to 2 foot waves up most of the coast. Sydney though, Sunday morning, offshore 2 foot of nor'east swell. So Manly, Maroubra, that'd be the go. If you're in Victoria, surf coast 2 to 3 foot offshore, and Mornington Peninsula, we're looking at about 5 foot of swell on Saturday morning. Onshore is back in on Sunday though.
And what about South Australia and West Oz?
South Oz, sneaky little mid-coast swell, so we get some 2 foot waves on the reefs there. South coast a bit small, but the pick of the country this weekend, we're looking at Margaret River, 4 to 6 foot offshore Saturday morning. So those Perth surfers, if you want to get away from the 1 to 2 footers, drive south.
Okay, so Margaret River, the peak of the week.
That's it.